I want to ask you something. When was the last time you slept? Like, actually slept? Not tossed and turned for 6 hours. Not woke up at 3 a.m. with your brain already running. Actually slept. And when was the last time you ate a meal without rushing, without guilt, without looking at your phone the entire time? I'm not asking to make you feel bad. I'm asking because those two things, sleep and food, are directly wired to how regulated or dysregulated your nervous system is. And nobody connects those dots. Welcome back to Smile Sessions. I'm Christina Perry, and this is the Rewire Series, where we move from understanding the nervous system to actually living differently because of it. Today, we're talking about the biology underneath the anxiety. Because you can do all the breath work in the world. And I love breath work. But if you're chronically sleep deprived and running on cortisol and caffeine, you are asking your nervous system to regulate itself with no resources. And that's not a mindset problem. That's a biology problem. So let's talk about it. Your nervous system is not separate from your body. It is your body. It's biological. It needs fuel, it needs rest, and it responds to what you eat, how long you sleep, whether you're chronically inflamed, whether your blood sugar is crashing at 3 p.m. And here's the part that changed everything for me. Dysregulation isn't always emotional. Sometimes it's physical. You might be doing the inner work, the therapy, the journaling, the breath work, and still feel anxious, reactive, and wired. And the missing piece might not be a trauma you haven't processed yet. It might be that your body is under-resourced. So let's start with sleep, because this is the one I think we underestimate the most. When you are sleep deprived, your amygdala, the part of your brain that triggers the threat response, becomes up to 60% more reactive. 60%. That means you're literally more reactive and more triggered, more emotionally flooded than you would be if you had rested. Not because something is wrong with you, because you're exhausted. And here's what makes it worse. Sleep deprivation also impairs your prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain that helps you regulate, reason, and make decisions. So, the part that reacts gets louder, and the part that calms you down gets quieter at the same time. This is why everything feels harder when you haven't slept. Your nervous system isn't being dramatic. It literally has fewer resources to work with. And I want to normalize something here. A lot of us have normalized bad sleep and made it a badge of honor. But at what point do we start paying attention to how we feel? And how we treat people on 5 hours of sleep versus 8? When I did my own assessment, it wasn't even close. So, what do you actually do about sleep? I'm going to give you 3 shifts, not a whole sleep hygiene lecture, just 3 things that actually move the needle. Sleep shift number 1. Protect the hour before bed like it's sacred. No screens, no hard conversations, no scrolling through things that activate your stress response. Your nervous system needs a wind down runway. It can't go from fully activated to asleep in 5 minutes, given an hour. Sleep shift number 2. Get morning light within 30 minutes of waking. This is neuroscience, not wellness fluff. Morning light sets your circadian rhythm, which directly regulates your cortisol curve throughout the day. and it sets you up for melatonin release at night. Open a window, step outside. 2 minutes is enough. Sleep shift number 3. Notice your sleep story. A lot of us have anxiety about sleep, which creates more sleeplessness. If you lay down and automatically start worrying about not being able to sleep, that's something worth addressing. The reset from episode 1 works here. Orient, regulate, and let your body know it's safe to rest. Okay, now food. And I want to be careful here because this is not a diet episode. I'm not going to tell you what to eat. I'm going to tell you how certain eating patterns affect the nervous system and let you make your own choices. Here's the main thing to understand. Your nervous system and your blood sugar are in constant conversation with each other. When your blood sugar drops, which happens when you may skip meals or eat high sugar foods without protein or fat, your body releases cortisol to bring it back up. Cortisol is the stress hormone, so a blood sugar crash literally triggers a stress response in your body. You may feel it as anxiety, irritability, racing heart, bad 3 p.m. crash where everything feels impossible. That's not you being weak. That's your body in a stress response because it needs fuel. And caffeine on an empty stomach does the same thing. It spikes your cortisol before your body has had the chance to come online, which is why some of us feel anxious after our first coffee of the day, and then we wonder why. Again, I'm not here to take your coffee. I love coffee. I'm just telling you to eat something first. Here are 3 food shifts that support regulation. Shift number 1. Don't let yourself go more than 4 or 5 hours without eating, especially if you care for your loved ones. Be sure to keep your blood sugar stable and your cortisol from spiking unnecessarily. It doesn't have to be a meal. A handful of nuts, some protein, something real. Shift number 2. Pair carbs with a protein or fat. This slows the blood sugar rise and crash. And it's not about cutting carbs. It's about not eating them alone. Food shift number 3. Notice how you feel 30 to 60 minutes after eating, not in an obsessive way, just with curiosity. Does something make you feel sharp and grounded or foggy and anxious? Your body is giving you data, so start listening to it. I know this episode might feel like a lot. Like, wow, I have a lot to fix. I have to fix my sleep and my food and regulate my nervous system. And I hear you. And I want you to know, and I want to say to you that you don't have to do everything at once. Pick one thing. One shift. The morning light. Eat before you have your coffee. Protect the hour before bed. Just one. Because here's what I've learned. You cannot out-mindset an under-resourced body. You can't think your way into regulation if your body is running on fumes. The inner work and the physical work have to happen together. You deserve both. Your homework this week, pick one shift from today's episode and actually do it. Just one for 7 days and notice what changes. Next week, we're going deep on something that I know is going to hit. Why some of us feel uncomfortable when life gets calm, why we unconsciously attract chaos, and what to do with your nervous system. Until then, I'm Christina Perry, and this has been another session for your soul.